Assalamu alaikum, Brother Twahir.
Walaikum salam.
Thank you for taking time to meet with me today.
Okay, thank you so much.
So we're doing this interview to find out about everyone's own version or their recollections of how they got involved in Nur Ul Islam and how Nur Ul Islam got started.
Okay.
So basically, to start off, if you could just introduce yourself, where you were born, your family.
Okay, my name is Rafman Twahir. My father has intended to name me Rahman, so I use the name sometimes Abdul Rahman, and my last name is Twahir. My father was born in Triumph Village, and my mother also. So you could say I'm from the east coast of Guyana. However, my father was a policeman, so he traveled throughout the coast of Guyana. So I grew up mostly in Leguan because my father was a police officer there, and then in Georgetown. I visit my village every year, summertime and wintertime. I studied in Richard Ishmael Secondary School from 1978 to 1983, and then went on to Queen's College for the A level, which afterward I was granted a government scholarship to go to Ukraine. First in St. Petersburg, which is now Russia. At that time I was Soviet Union. I spent 1 year doing a preparatory for language, Russian language, and then I moved to Kyiv, which I went to Kyiv Institute of Engineers for Civil Aviation, where I completed my master's degree. Then I went to Kyiv Polytechnic Institute to do my PhD. However, I did not complete my PhD study. In Ukraine, I was very active Islamically. I was head of the Muslim Student Union in Kyiv, and there we did a lot of work for Islam, like the translation of books, doing medical caravan, medical outreach, teaching Islam, and different Islamic activities in the Ukraine and then Crimea also. Crimea, the Muslims returned after the fall of Soviet Union, returned back to Crimea from exile, which is Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and they returned back. So they had to start from zero, so we had to assist them to resettle back living there. And we know Crimea now is now under Russia, but originally was a Muslim part of the Ottoman Empire. And I came to live in New York. In New York I spent from 1995 to 2003. Then I was invited by the school, Nur Ul Islam Academy, to come to teach mathematics and physics at the Nur Ul Islam Academy in 2003. So I came to Florida in 2003 in August as a teacher, high school teacher, and teaching some classes and also in the middle school. And as soon as I came, I got involved in Nur Ul Islam. I joined the Nur Ul Islam Masjid. My wife began to teach at the madrasa, and I helped a little in consulting at the madrasa. At that time, Brother Gamal was the principal of the madrasa. I continued to get involved in the local South Florida Dawah organization. I helped Majid Shamsuddin running the madrasa program for a couple of years. And I was here always with the Nur Islam organization from 2003 onwards.
Okay, thanks very much. So how far along the masjid was already built when you arrived?
Yeah, the small mosque was built already. So that time when I came, Jummah was in the small mosque, the ladies was in the library, now present library, and the school children was at the back, sitting down praying, because that was how it was then.
So the masjid or the organization was established by the time?
Yes,
yeah. So at the time you joined, was everything up and running smoothly, or were there still some obstacles or challenges that they had to face?
Yeah, so we the mosque was not, we had when I first came, they didn't have a imam, they had like a deputy imam, and that year I think they then allowed Brother Ocean to be the acting imam. So one of the weaknesses I think in this organization, I think that the school was well advanced, but the mosque was not developed as a masjid. I always feel that the mosque was the smaller organization. It's supposed to be the opposite to now. So the school was more advanced, more outreaching. The mosque was not. The mosque was the only basically Friday and Ramadan in doing something there. we had a few classes like Baranasi, we had like Friday afternoon, we had a youth class, but that was basically the mosque. So in the mosque, I was always helpful, always tried to be part of the masjid. And then after Bar Asghar as president, he told us, he told my wife she cannot be a member of the mosque because she was not from Guyana. So, you know, I then because the mosque and the school had problems, the school almost shut down. So I decided to get even more involved in the mosque. So Bar Alan had an election at the year and he asked me to help him. So I assist as being as the assistant to the social secretary. Myself, Brother Gamas, we formed a social committee. So I was assistant Brother Azam Hussein. He was the social secretary. And so we started running the family nights and visiting the sick and do all the social work. And then Brother Azam, for some reason, couldn't continue. So Brother Alan asked me to step in as the executive, as a social secretary. So I did social secretary for 2 terms. And that's how I become part of the executive.
Okay.
In the school, however, I was a teacher there. I was the one a senior teacher in the school. I'd done many activities, and then the head of high school left, and so they asked me to step into his position. And for the last 8 years, I've been the head of the high school.
When you arrived in South Florida, how many or how big was the Islamic community in South Florida? How many mosques were there? Was it?
I think the mosque hasn't increased by much, but I think the community has increased. You know, when compared to New York, South Florida was lagging behind Islamically in terms of organization and the people available, the halal stores. But over the last 19 years I'm here, the South Florida community has organized itself well. It had a strategic plan, and I think they implemented the plan. So I think South Florida has moved forward. Not only by the number of buildings, but number of Muslim organizations, Muslim restaurants, Muslim grocery stores. You know, one of the first things we had problem here is having halal food, halal meat when we first came, and now has become very common. You know, a lot of external organizations, Muslim organizations, come to South Florida, because the Muslim in Florida has developed a lot. Yeah. So I see Nur Islam as an organization. Strategically, the Nur Islam Mosque decided, because before they had a clause, the Caribbean clause. I think and because of the school influence, I think that Nur Islam Mosque make a strategic decision that we have to include everybody, make everybody feel welcome. So I think Nur Islam has a diverse Muslim population from all over the world. And so we at Nur Islam, we are very proud to say that we not only are Caribbean, although Caribbean is like a central part of it, but we were very inclusive to bring in the other nationalities, such from the South Asian, Afro-American, African, other Muslims, you know, to come in here, and they all feel welcome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you moved there, it was just a mosque. There was no hall.
No hall, no high school building. No.
So of everything that's been built since you arrived and future plans, looking back, what's the one main thing you're really proud of that Nur Ul Islam has accomplished?
So if you look at it, there are many accomplishments in Nur Islam. When I first came, I remember the first Ramadan I spent here, we did a fundraiser for the mosque, for the hall. And that was like a big event, and we were only able to raise $25,000. And that was like a lot of money in those days. Now, alhamdulillah, Nur Islam is raising $1 million, you know, every time $300,000, $500,000. So I think our community has broadened, and so we have more people that want to contribute to the Islamic development. I think that Nur Islam had a strategic plan, what they want to achieve over years. And each example that came in had to follow that plan. So that was one of the positive things. You find many other organizations probably have an organization, but they don't have a strategic plan. So when the executive changed, the plan changed. But Nur Islam, I think, they have a strategic plan that they want to accomplish.
That's good, yeah. Looking towards the future,
yeah.
Consistency is very important.
Yeah.
So now looking forward, I know we're looking to build a new Grand Mosque.
Yeah.
But is there, and other than that, it could be that, but what do you like to see the masjid accomplish it going forward in the future?
So we want the masjid to be a place of learning, a place of intellectual debate, a place of diversity, a place of tolerance. I think that Nur Ul Islam can proud itself to that. We want to see that our children and grandchildren feel comfortable coming here, not only for the prayer, but also coming here to have a social event, athletic event. You know, I want this to be like a family, one big family. You know, it's a kumbaya, the word is here. A big melting pot of Muslims, and we also like to welcome non-Muslims to come here also, to come and experience Islam. You know, we invited universities to come and observe us. Non-Muslim, we have interfaith council, we have meeting with them. So we want this to be a place of light of Islam, as Nur Ul Islam.
Yeah, but I asked this question to someone else yesterday. With the geographic location of Nur Ul Islam, you have a Jewish community nearby and a church across the street. How, from your perspective, how has been the relationship between the three different religions?
Oh, we have very wonderful relationship with the Jewish community, which is nearby. We have actually more than wonderful with the church. You know, we share our parking lot. Very, very good relationship. But this is an example of religious tolerance and respect for each other. This Nur Ul Islam community around here, with the Jewish community and the non-Muslim. And as Nur Ul Islam also, we as a school and the mosque, we also try to get socially involved. Like every Christmas time, we take gifts to the fire chief, we take gifts to the police department, we take gifts to the mayor office. The mayor office, when we have our art show, we invite the whole community to come out. You know, when we have iftar, we invite the whole community to come out. So we try to become not only for the Muslim, but also the non-Muslim to be part of our community.
Just to go back for a second, when you arrived, who was the president and who was the imam at that time?
That time the president was Brother Alan Baksh, and there was no imam, but Imam Mubarak Ali was the acting imam.
So who was the first permanent, so to say, imam?
Well, then after Brother Ocean become the acting imam, because in Nur Islam, how it works that the executive have to approve, the trustee has to approve the imamship, and then the community at large, the general body, have to vote on him. So because of that, I think he was never voted as the imam, but he was the acting imam at that time.
And who took over after?
So after him, I think it was Brother Gamal Muhammad was the imam, then Ustad Beg, and then after Ustad Beg, I think Brother Nasib, and then after Brother Nasib, currently is the imam.
So were your kids born in South Florida, or were they in New
No,
York?
my kids were born up in New York, and they came, but they attend Nur Ul Islam Academy from kindergarten all the way up, and both of them finished the school with scholarships. My daughter went to Nova Southeastern University on a presidential scholarship. My son went to FIU fully covered with all the scholarship necessary to have going to school free. I was so lucky that I have my both children going to college, and without any cost to me. And so I thank Nur Ul Islam School for giving us that opportunity for our kids to graduate from this high school and able to go on to college for free. And we pride ourselves, this school, we pride that we make sure we want every student from this school to leave and go to a university and don't have for the bachelor's to pay anything for a bachelor's degree.
I don't know if you have the information or no, but how does Nur Ul Islam School or Academy compared to the public or chartered schools in their graduation? And
Well, we have a 100% graduation rate. We have everybody who goes through our system able to graduate, go to university. We really encourage that. So our school pride itself to teach the practice and teach and practice Islam, and to prepare students for academic excellence, and also to be good citizens of this country. So those three components, we have our students volunteering a lot in the social activities in the community, not only in the Muslim community, the hospital, the library, the police department, and other social organizations. We also prepare them well for them to have a good GPA and a good SAT scores. And we also want them to be a demonstration of Islamic values. And that this year we graduated 38 students that going off to college, you know.
So, well, I've covered everything I needed to ask, but is there anything or any stories or any people you'd like to recognize or tell us about?
Yeah, this year I think, except for the period of But I think one thing with Nur Ul Islam, they have steady leadership. That's so important. I think I must thank Dr. Khan, Brother Alan, and Uncle Nadir. They said 3 people I know has demonstrated steady leadership. Thank Brother Ashraf Andani, Dr. Latif Janga, Brother Kim also, great leadership in the school also. You know, they bring in different talent into the school, into the mosque to carry forward. I think right now people feel they belong to this organization. People come and donate. People want to be part of the organization. I'm the fundraising officer at the moment, and I also was social secretary. People just want to do. I'll give you an example. Ramadan come iftar, we start back iftar. It full up. People just sign up to just do iftar. You know, people are always willing to come forward. You know, I think one of the challenges we have is to get more volunteer in different area in the mosque. I think we need about 50 volunteer just to have the break even to have the organization function smoothly. Yeah.
So yeah, because the masjid, you need to hear that. Because with the Sunday brunches and the iftar programs, the masjid runs a lot of social events.
Yeah.
Do you see that continuing, or do you see us doing more?
Yeah, we have to do more. Definitely, we have to do more. Definitely, we have to do more. We want the family nights to come back. Other than the monthly breakfast, the movie nights. We have movie nights. We have different. So we have in Nur Ul Islam, we have the parents' body of the school. They're involved in social activity. We have the student government. They're also involved in social activity. We have the NHS, National Honor Society. They're also involved in activity. We have the Masjid Masjid community. So we want everybody to be part of this community. We want a lot of events to continue here. So everybody feel that they're welcome in somewhere at the community level here.
Okay, that's good. Well, again, I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And you've given us some good information about your history with the organization.
Yeah.
And we look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Inshallah.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much, brother.
No problem.